For more, we cross now to France 24's Fernande van Tets in Amsterdam. Fernande, what exactly was decided here, and is this a win for Ukraine?
So what was decided here today was whether this court had jurisdiction in this case. Russia had challenged that. This case was brought under the 1948 Genocide Convention. And what Ukraine tried to get this court to do, it said, we want you to do two things. One, we want you to establish that there is no genocide being committed in Ukraine. That is, of course, the pretext that Russia used for its invasion back in February 2022. And then secondly, it wants to use this convention to say, using that as a pretext falsely, that also is in violation of that convention. Now, the judges went along with one argument, but not with the other. So they said, yes, we will look at this case, whether a genocide has been committed against Russian speakers in Ukraine. That bit of the case will be moving forward. The court said it did have jurisdiction there. However, the second part, which is what reparations were attached to and what actually was, of course, what Ukraine really wanted, that Russia would be held accountable for violating this genocide convention by falsely using genocide being committed as a pretext, that the judges felt was a stretch too far. They said that was not what this convention was there for, and that though this might be a violation of international law, more generally speaking, it did not fall within this convention. So is it a win for Ukraine? Partially, because this case will move forward. We'll be hearing more from this court. It will drag on for months. It will take a long time. But of course, it will keep the spotlight on those events in Ukraine and potentially back up Ukraine's claim that there was no genocide being committed in Ukraine against Russian speakers.
So it sounds like, though, that Ukraine's strategy of fighting Russia overall also includes making them fight a bunch of different legal battles as well.
Absolutely. The Ukrainians have actually referred to this as lawfare, so waging battle on the legal front as well. This hasn't been such a great week for them on that front. There's been a flurry of decisions from the ICJ because there will be a rotation of judges next week. So just on Wednesday, we heard a final judgment in a case that Ukraine brought back against Russia following the 2014 annexation of Crimea. That case was brought in 2017, and that, again, was using a bit of legal acrobatics. They were putting the a treaty on financing terrorism to the test at this court and said that Russia was violating that by supporting separatist groups. However, the court again did not really go along with Ukraine's arguments there. Throughout most of Ukraine's claims, it did say that Russia had violated that treaty by failing to investigate individuals, but mostly a clean sweep for Russia. However, Ukraine did say after that ruling, look, this is the first time that an international court, the UN's top court, said that Russia had violated international law. They saw that as a win, and so they will continue to keep bringing cases. And of course, apart from the ICJ, which is where states battle each other in court, there's also an investigation being carried out at the International Criminal Court, also here in The Hague, against individuals involved in this war. And that, of course, includes that arrest warrant against Vladimir Putin, which was released last year.
France 24 correspondent Fernande van Tets, thank you so much for your reporting.